It's going to be Deer against Rogue.
6.
See if Rogue can succeed where the other Junior guys have failed. Down here in the bottom left, though, we do have from Samsung, it is Deer.
Really excited to see what he can do. Well, it looks like we're going to have a pause.
No.
Come on, Rogue. He just puts a bunch of question marks, like, what's going on?
I think it's, yeah.
Maybe he was
English
Terran or something. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I think
that's
we
right.
figured that out.
I forgot about that. It was
that's
just
cool.
yesterday.
But yeah, let's talk about this for a second. The lack of Jin Air players doing well. I thought for sure SOS and Maru would be like leading the charge in the Legacy of the Void. They seem like the perfect well, maybe SOS needs like a little bit more time because he's so strategic and he's like so like against the grain of the meta that there needs to be one for him to be successful.
He also just won BlizzCon, so he was playing Heart of the Swarm for a lot longer than a lot of the other Koreans that weren't at BlizzCon were. So he's he needs some time to get up to speed as well.
What about Maru? What's our excuse? His multitasking
Injuries,
is like the best.
maybe.
Yeah, I guess
it's possible.
That is a possibility. It's always a scary one to think about.
I saw a picture, like a random picture. I wasn't even thinking about it, but it was on Twitter, and I think it was Kenzie who posted it. It was like Maru massaging his shoulder. I'm like, still? You know, what's going on? I guess he just never had a break to like recover, even during the downtime, because he was probably practicing a lot and studying and playing Legacy of the Void. But that's really kind of worrying because Maru is definitely one of the best players we have in all of Korea and the world for StarCraft 2. And if he's not doing well because of injuries, that's never a
Well,
good
it would
thing.
be really sad. That's actually how we lost MVP. MVP eventually retired. Well, I don't know if he's like officially retired even yet, but like he kind of
Still
just
around.
stopped playing because his wrist was messed up. And like, remember he like transitioned into playing more and more and more mech in every matchup and was still winning championships.
Yeah.
But like, he was doing that
There's
to coincide with the ache of you know the carpal tunnel, which is can be a very big problem for pro gamers. So if we lose Maru like that too, that would be a tragedy.
Yeah, it happens in every single sport. It happens in a lot of esports. Not every single one. I can't remember too many League of Legends players who got many injuries like this because there's not as much multitasking.
There's
and
not as
mouse work
much
that you
to
have to do. So
I don't care how many times you click your little man to move him across the map. There's not as much to do in League of Legends.
Man?
Your little man that you're playing with.
Yeah.
Your little anime girl that you're running around the map. Okay? I don't care how many times you right-click that. That is not the same as what Maru's doing.
It's true. I mean, I think StarCraft has the most injury. It's like not a good thing.
It
but
does.
I think it's the reality. I think it has the most injuries of any pro
esport. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that is like a fact. And like the thing is, it's also been in esport like basically the longest.
That's
Plus
true.
like the ridiculous APM and stuff like that. Like the thing is, the only other games that actually even come close as far as like the actual required actions per minutes, like I think Smash is the only one that comes close.
Right. Yeah. I remember.
But
hearing
that's
that
like very different. Playing like this, as opposed to playing with a controller, I think that's going to really affect your wrist probably in a different way. Not a good one. Like Caveman did not evolve to hold a GameCube controller.
No.
But I'm just saying, it's like
they never really
the
had to
weird
hold anything
posture
like this, you know?
of playing at a computer can be, can be an issue.
That's for sure. And I think they're doing research on that, and people are beginning to figure out ways to help you sit better, like some mouse pads that help your wrists and stuff.
Yeah, totally.
Stuff like that. So hopefully that'll help in the future.
Yeah, and I've definitely seen the ergonomic, like you put your fingers into the globe to type and stuff, and
oh, I've never seen that.
The split
sounds
keyboards.
Really cool.
Oh yeah, no, there's. I'll show you some pictures later. There's some crazy ergonomic stuff people are doing, but anyways, here we have Deer in the bottom left. Whatever has happened has been fixed. The Observer doesn't have Korean on the computer, and so we have no idea what actually went wrong.
Yeah, we have no way of knowing, so we'll just continue on. We still haven't taken a look at Rogue. Here we go. He's up in the top right, the red Zerg. We didn't get to introduce him, so it's only fair that we do so now.
Rogue definitely has been one of my favorite Zergs. Like I've really been keeping my eye on him since he, got what was it, second place to Sulky in like a qualifier for an IEM, and then like made it to Katowice that year and didn't do that well, but like was always in Pro League doing pretty well. I've been watching him for a long time. In the last year or so, I think like at the beginning of last year, he had an interview about how he didn't care if he won a championship. He just wanted to improve as a player in 2015. And since then, he's just been one of my favorite players, man. I hope that he does just fantastically this year in Legacy of the Void.
I love some of the stats you guys have. Pro League 2012, 2013, Season 1, Round 5, XTX versus Team 8.
Jeez.
Rogue beat Deer, guys.
With 2 teams that no longer exist.
Just
and
in case.
Don't forget in the Kung Fu Cup.
Yeah, don't forget about that.
Oh, man. Yeah,
I already
sometimes the
forgot about
stats
it,
mean
Dan. What was
nothing. I don't know what we're even talking about. Where am I?
It's Christmas Eve in Korea, and we're casting StarCraft.
I tell you, it's... When I heard that there was GSL casts on Christmas and Christmas Eve,
You
know,
couldn't have been a happier
I
man.
was excited.
Yeah.
So I'm just actually moving my Christmas with my little girl and the wife to Sunday. That's actually our strategy for this.
But you got to do what you got to do, you know?
Yeah.
So.
She doesn't know what day of the month it is yet.
Yeah, right.
She's only 3. It's fine.
Yeah, it's true. I'm sure you guys will have a fun Christmas regardless.
No doubt. Are you doing anything
Santa
special?
Can come a little bit late. No. Pretty standard. I'm not working on Christmas.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dad, but
Oh, it's okay.
I'll be here with you tonight. I'm
Wolf
supporting
looks
you
more
tonight.
like Santa Claus than you anyways.
That's true. That's true.
And that's what I base people's worth. I mean, I wish I had Tasteless. He has a big beard, too.
Yeah. So that's the reason why Wolf's casting on Christmas.
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
But right now, what we see happening here, the Oracle plus Zealot and a couple of Adepts, this is like what Parting was doing a lot at DreamHack. Well, I guess he's deviating from it a little bit, but... Wait, did he cancel the Oracle? He did, didn't he? Wait, where is the Oracle? I could have sworn he made an Oracle. Never mind. I take back everything.
He has Phoenix now. And he's going to continue making Phoenixes.
Okay. Like, I think Phoenix openings are really quite nice right now in Legacy of the Void. A lot of Lings actually being produced right now. Kind of interesting.
Well, he sees the fact that it's only Phoenixes coming out. Because I think he also saw the second Phoenix that was being produced. So you can make a big swell of Lings still if there's no Oracle to try to do at least some damage and pressure that third.
Let's see here. He does have this Mothership Core popping out. So that's going to be very, very important against
he does
the
have
Swinglings.
even just 3 Adepts with a Mothership Core should be enough. And he didn't make enough Lings, I think.
You know what I think his plan is here? I think he's going to clear the map and try to like hide what he's doing with like mass Adepts or something, right? Because this is kind of weird. Like he hasn't been non-stop on the Phoenix. I guess he's making more. He's going up to 4 now, but like adding a lot of gates, getting that Adept attack speed, he's going to have to put on an attack because these Phoenixes haven't really done that much.
Let's see where he stops with his probes. He stops here at 50 now, and he's continuing to produce them, so... Huh.
Yeah, I'm not...
I don't know. It could just be a pressure. I don't think it's going to be an all-in here.
Yeah. It doesn't look like it, but definitely something that could get some damage done, especially if he has a lot of this map cleared of Overlords, which he's hunted down a fair amount so far.
Yeah. And I don't think he stopped the Phoenix production. I think this is the 6th one that's coming out here.
Yeah, 5th or 6th now, so... Let's see what he ends up doing with this. We actually have a Hydralisk Den, okay, a Lurker Den actually morphing immediately.
And here come the Adepts that have now been upgraded. 5 Phoenixes in the sky, a 6th one on the way, as well as Blink.
Yeah, he does have, of course, Adept attack speed upgrade going right into Blink afterwards, getting that +1 attack as well. And there's not a lot to defend this right now. The Lings are all across the map. This is actually, like, quite nice. He's going to pick off Queens, Spores even, like...
And he could even, if he really wanted to be sneaky, he could try to get that Spore. I guess now that there's no Queens, he could actually just fly over there with his Phoenixes. The Spore isn't going to do too much damage.
Yeah, I mean, he's actually doing a great job. Look at this. He killed every Ling, both Queens. Now he's just killing drones. The Adept is a good unit.
Oh my god, he doesn't, Rogue just doesn't have anything. This is so unfortunate. Like, Deer hit this kind of weird timing. It's not even like a real timing attack, I don't think. I mean, it does kind of line up with the upgrade for the Adepts.
He didn't like maximize the amount of Adepts he could have right now.
Yeah.
As you said, this isn't all in. This is just like, this is like a pressure. Like he's getting other upgrades. He's adding more gates right now. He made a lot of probes.
Yeah.
This was not, you know, it's something that you would hope Rogue would be able to defend a bit better, but he was out of position. The Adepts went up one side and the Lings were on the other.
Yeah.
And now he's lost a hell of a lot of drones.
And the Sim City that Deer has around his third is just never being broken. He has like 6 gateways over here, tons of pylons going down, a Robo in the mix. Like he's not going to lose that third base ever.
Yeah.
And, I think that's what those gates were originally for. You know, just with the continuous production of the probes as well. It's kind of just like safety. You have the gateways there just in case Rogue is going for some kind of timing with Ravagers probably. And he plays it safe and he's like, okay, well now I can put on some pressure because it looks like you're trying to take up a bit here.
He's going to get this hatchery. Like this hatchery is going to go down.
Mass Stalkers are still good.
Yeah, no, I mean, totally.
In any expansion of StarCraft.
There's not a lot of units out in the map for Rogue. He's getting some lurkers, so like he can defend if he retakes this. But for now, this dies. And this is like a super mobile army. Everything is sealed up tight at home. There's really good building placement by Deer, as you were mentioning.
And Rogue thought that he was going to run by with those Lings. Deer just kind of laughed in his face.
Yeah.
Put down a couple of overcharges. This is kind of a overcommitment. Going to lose 3 Phoenixes for 3 Hydras.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the best trade.
No, certainly not. A little bit greedy there, but that's all right. Right now he's taking up heavily at home, getting his 4th base up. Looks like the 4th will be canceled, so a small victory here for Rogue, definitely. Yeah, that's not going to quite do it, but...
and now Deer is entire Stalker force all the way back to this 4th. It seems like he's really focused on keeping this 4th here and transitioning a bit possibly. I was thinking that he might try to blink in the main and get those lurkers out of position because there weren't that many Zerg units just from the pressure that he had, but it seems like he's definitely going to go into this transition of, you know, all the Twilight Council upgrades as well as Storm and just you know, attack upgrades.
It's really actually quite scary. Like if he's going to have Psy Storm, a bunch of Blink Stalkers, and a bunch of Charge Lots, that really messes with the AI of lurkers. And of course, you know, Charge Lots in general are just so strong right now. But you know, the lurkers actually want your units to not like close on them. It kind of makes the lurker spikes go haywire. They stop. They start like kind of crisscrossing, hitting the Zealots more, which you want them to hit, so your Stalkers can stay alive during the battle. So
exactly,
it's a scary army. But if we see a nice spread here and Rogue just turtles, kind of like this, this is going to be incredibly hard to actually break, and I don't think he has the army that can break it.
Lurkers do a lot of damage, and when you have this many already, I think this is upwards of like 11, 12. The only problem is that he's really lacking on the upgrades. Right now it's +2 to +0.
Ooh.
He's about to get +1, and here we go. Deer's going to engage.
Yeah, and look at this. The Zealots are actually getting chewed up by those Hydras. This is not a position you can engage. This is a good defense by Rogue. Got to be careful of those Hydras.
Yeah,
but,
I don't think he wants to be poking with the Hydras, allowing the +2 Stalkers to trade with them on the right side. Just stay back with your Lurkers.
Oh! Yeah, that was
man.
a little bit overambitious there. And a nice Psy Storm goes down. Softens up some of these units, but yeah, this is really hard for him to actually engage upon.
Oh, the Protoss army is just melting if he comes close to those Lurkers.
Has some Psy Storm, so he definitely can get a few Lurker kills here.
Allowing the Immortals to tank and do a bit of damage as well to the Lurkers. He's trying to move in now, but not sure if it's going to work. Those Lurkers in the back, still so many of them left alive.
Yeah. I don't think that I don't think you can break something like this with what he has. I think you actually need Disruptors or Colossus to properly break it. I've heard people talking about using High Templars against Zerg a lot more now, but in a situation like this, it doesn't look like that's gonna break him, right?
Well, it looks like Rogue is just gonna trade here without the Lurkers, feeling like he has enough army in general without it.
Yeah, that
kind
didn't
of
work well.
all right. I mean, But there's no reason to do that when you have these lurkers.
Yeah,
You should fight with your lurkers, right?
I want to see him play like a very defensive, lurkery situation right here, because this is just like a bunch of ground units that are being made that don't really have splash damage. Like he has more Archons in here and stuff, and that's not really going to be that useful. Okay, this is nice. Rogue gets out of position with those lurkers.
Yeah, that was a big mistake. He pushed forward with 4 or 5 of those lurkers, trying to get a very close position, but he loses all of them. Nice lifts by the Phoenix, and it looks like Rogue is going to be broken.
Yep. I guess this non-stop pressure by Deer does get Rogue, but there were a few times right there and a couple minutes ago where Rogue walked forward with his lurkers, and I don't think he should have, to be honest. If you keep them burrowed underground and like spread out a bit, it's as we saw when he was just sitting still. Deer was being very cost inefficient trying to break them.
Yeah.
But as soon as he starts trying to move forward, that's when Deer's like, oh, bam, I got you. So we'll see if he's going to actually break all the way through. And, oh, very nice blink right there. He is absolutely going to kill him here.
Those poor Ravagers in the sky when they get lifted.
Yeah.
GG. Deer is going to take game number 1. And, yeah, I think it was mainly just due to Rogue kind of messing up his control in that last fight.
Deer definitely got ahead early on, for sure, especially when he sniped off that 4th hatchery. I thought that was a great move. But I felt like, yeah, Rogue with that defense, as soon as he put up the defense, I think he would have just continued to hold it. As we saw, like, you can't just keep making high temperatures to try to storm those, I don't think. And
they need to get in range of the lurker shots in order to get your storms
off.
So
it's a very messy business.
I think it's 3 storms. I'm not exactly sure.
I believe you're correct.
I play Terran now. I haven't been in this situation so much, but
it's 2 or 3 storms. And the thing is, you can unburrow and move during them because Psy storms are slow.
Yeah, and lurkers burrow and unburrow really fast, so you can get out of there and take half damage.
I think he should have just sat back and gone into Hive, to be honest. Like, because when you have that lurker defense, if you get up to Vipers, it becomes... Because, again, I think the way you normally are going to break, like a very fortified Zerg position with lurkers is probably going to be robo units, and Vipers are good against that. So I don't know. These are kind of like my guesses. We don't really know 100% how Legacy of the Void is going to be, but so far that's kind of my opinion of what a behind Zerg in that type of situation should do. Just kind of really sit still.
Yeah. I don't think moving forward 5 of your lurkers to try to get that angle from the right side and then like get a surround with your other army units is the right idea there. Especially when a lot of those lurkers were all very low.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll see if Rogue can do a bit better here. Up in the top right of Orbital Shipyard, it is Deer.
And down here in the bottom left, in the red, the Zerg player losing that last one. It is Rogue from the generic Green Wings. Their last hope, I do believe, in this preseason. Morrow and SOS not here, and Travis went down. Rogue
I believe so. I believe you're correct about that.
The only other generic player here, I believe.
Yeah, they haven't really been that successful, to be honest. Taking a look at the SSL guys as well, like, I don't really see Jin Air there either. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Jin Air not
Trust is on CJ, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Not surprised that Trust is doing well, as Hero's on his team, and Hero seems to have the best build orders for Protoss so far.
If you're going to learn from the guy who's got it all figured out, you're going to be pretty good yourself.
Yeah, no doubt. There's definitely some players I'm excited about this year, like Sari. He's on SKT1. Like, it's only him in Innovation, right? So, like, he has some sick practice and, like, basically the best Terran you can learn from.
There's Dream over there as well, right?
Oh, wait, yeah. Okay, never mind. What am I even saying?
I feel like they have someone else.
No.
It can't be right that SKT only has 3 Terrans.
No, I believe that's the case. Sorry, Innovation and Dream, I believe.
Huh. It's KT that had a lot of Terrans before Flash retired.
Yeah.
Not sure exactly what KT is going to do next year, like in terms of Pro League.
I'm excited to see the finalized Pro League rosters. It's going to be an exciting season, no doubt. But taking a look at this game, nothing out of the ordinary. It's pretty early in Legacy of the Void to say that, but Adept into a Stargate, that's a really, really common opener. The Stargate is just so powerful. Having an Oracle against Zerg that's... Even, like, if Zerg gets aggressive, the Stargate is great, and if they don't get aggressive, it's great. And it also keeps them a little bit honest about going into Mutalisks.
Yeah.
So, good things the Stargate does for you as Protoss.
I think that'll definitely become the standard. As you were saying, it's kind of already the standard here. This is just so annoying. Like, if you don't have anything here at the front, it's like, oh, you just got to deal with this Adept. It's always going to be there. Lings, your first unit that you get as a Zerg, are not going to do well against even one Adept.
Yeah.
You really just need queens.
Yeah, seriously. Like, you need the queens out there before even the drones a lot of the time. Like, look at the damage that guy did. He's like basically a scout, but he's killed like a Ling or two and 2 drones and forced lost mining time and the cancel of an extractor.
Yeah.
That adds up.
And scouted.
Yeah, absolutely. He basically knows what's going on. It does look like we're going to have Phoenix play once again. Seems like Deer has cleaned up his play a lot from last week where he was trying to go 2 Stargate Phoenix. Definitely.
Yeah, that is pretty dirty. I got to clean that up for sure.
Biel just kind of wrecked him when he was trying that, but the 1 Stargate, I guess Hero showed him the way with his games.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really surprise me that Biel would wreck Deer, just going off of like what we saw in Heart of the Swarm, but everything is changing nowadays, so.
Certainly.
Deer could become the best Protoss in Legacy of the Void for all we know.
Hey, there was a point in Heart of the Swarm where he was.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That Season 3 into the global finals, he was just absolutely fantastic. And he's kind of started to have a comeback in the last 6 months, to be honest. Like, there's been better and better Deer games, Pro League and the individual leagues as well.
Yeah. Seems like Deer is doing a similar style to the Dust Towers game, just getting a lot of these units at the front, having your Mothership Core in position with a nice pylon spread. Going to be very safe against anything, even if you do not have an Oracle. Well, at least very safe against Speedlings.
Yep. Right now, looks like just trying to get a little bit of harassment up, a little bit of bugginess with those Phoenixes, trying to get the lifts on these drones, but a few kills here and there. Charge on the way. Definitely something we saw a lot from Hero. Using those early charge lots and their newfound power.
Yeah. We're seeing Rogue heavily drawn up here to sustain these losses that just never seem to end when you are facing the Protoss.
Certainly. You thought they were good at killing drones before. Whew.
This is a whole new level.
Oh, yeah. You wait till StarCraft 3 comes out, what Protoss is going to have.
They have like a trebuchet. They just shoot like an energy ball at your mineral line.
Oh, man.
Takes a while to get there, but you can't see it unless you have detection. It just like blows everything up. You're like, well, I don't know. I forgot detection. I guess I lose.
You should feel like that more often against Protoss, not just about DTs. All right. Well, we do have a robe on the way. 11 roaches, so that's actually really good that he's making quite a few roaches. That's going to be something that helps out a lot against these charge lots. Of course, you want to utilize SimCity a little bit as well if you can go ahead and have some buildings kind of in between. The charge lots AI gets screwed up very, very quickly. Oops.
Oh, he misses that drone. That's just so juicy. You see that drone going over to make that 4th and you pick it up, you're like, aha!
Oh, that's one of the best feelings. You're like,
feels so good.
That's another 20 seconds out of that 4th base.
Yeah. Charge has complete, and it looks like Rogue does want to put on the pressure. He's stopped at 59 drones here, just making only units.
Oh, and he's actually going for a little attack that actually it looks like he doesn't even know about, because if he did, these Phoenixes would be like, okay, oh no, the Phoenixes started to come back and then stop. He's not really in position to defend this properly. If he had those Phoenixes back here, it would be a lot easier.
I don't think Chargelets alone can deal with this, to be honest. This is
It's a little bit scary.
like a very puny Protoss army right now. Only the pylons are trying to keep them alive here.
Yeah, and he is just raining down the Corrosive Bios to knock those out in a matter of seconds. Okay, and now the Phoenixes do come back, so this is where it starts to get a little bit more messy for Rogue.
Yeah, especially now with an Immortal popping out. He's finally been able to hold this off very nicely. And these Ravagers, of course, not that fast, going to be picked up, and they're all going to be wiped out. And down goes Rogue's entire army.
Yeah, that was a pretty solid defense by Deer, considering he was out of position. That is as well as that could have gone for Rogue, and it didn't really go that well.
Yeah.
Like, the Phoenixes couldn't have been further away, and they couldn't have used more energy, really. They had used so much energy harassing that drone line.
Now Rogue kind of in an awkward spot here. He committed to an attack, delayed his Hydra Den for a while, was not really able to saturate that 4th base right away. Is going to do so now and go into that transition of lurkers. But I like this very heavy Phoenix count that he's got in the sky here, Deer, this time as well. It's going to just be a constant, annoying harass force. Even when he's going for the attack, a lot of lifts can be fantastic. As long as there's not too many Hydras.
Yeah, and like, how many Hydras can you really afford? I guess he's going to have to start supplementing a lot of Hydras into his army, which just costs him more money. And I mean, yeah, the Hydra is a good unit, but I have to agree with you. I love the fact that he has 7 Phoenixes still flying around. He's being very careful. He doesn't want to lose them. He's not going to waste them. They are not wasted supply. Unless we see an Ultralisk-based army come out, these things are really useful.
We do have a warp in here. It looks like Deer wants to put on the pressure. Half his army is at his building 4th base on the right side of the map, but he's just using this time to draw out the Hydras and pick them up.
Yeah, he's doing a very good job there. Actually comes in with the rest of his army right now. Does he have enough to actually break through at this moment? A couple Corrosive Vials come down.
There's so many Archons in this mix with the Chargelets. He doesn't have +2 attack just yet. And the Phoenixes are doing absolutely nothing right now. I don't think they have enough energy.
Yeah, I think you're right. They probably are out of energy right there. A lot of Corrosive Vials coming down. Oops. A little bit of mess up there by the Observer. But that's all right. We do have these Phoenixes flying into the back row, picking up anything that they can, trying to add their damage in here as well. To be honest, the Archon's not really doing it for me personally there, but he had a lot of gas, so I kind of get it.
Well, look at this, a giant warp in a Stalkers now with Blink. He doesn't quite have +2 just yet, but
he's broken the back of this army and taken out this 4th base is meaning that Deer likely is going to be able to take this game.
Down goes the 4th base. And so many Immortals in the mix as well are just help bolstering this army. Immortals are just so good in the Protoss army in general now.
Yeah.
Against really any composition. They're so bulky.
Totally.
They do a lot of damage against really anything. And
yeah, they don't even need their +1st armor. Like, they still are pretty sick as far as damage output. And that's it. GG. And Jin Air having a